For all things health and fitness, this is the Army Gymnastics Podcast.
The Army Gymnastics Podcast.
Discover a fitter, healthier you at armygymnastics.com.
All right, so you want to tackle that belly fat, huh? Well, you've come to the right place. We've got some great sources here, from Johns Hopkins Medicine, a piece from the Mayo Clinic, and we even have some tips from the Army Gymnastics Podcast ready to get started.
Let's do it. And you know, it's not just about looking good in a swimsuit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's got to be more than that.
Exactly. It's a serious health issue.
I mean, I knew it wasn't great for you, but wow, the Mayo Clinic piece really laid it all out there.
It's linked to some scary stuff. Heart disease, diabetes, even some cancers.
They had this diagram of visceral fat surrounding your organs. Pretty alarming.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to sit up straighter.
Right, for sure. So visceral fat, that's the kind you can't see, right? The stuff deep inside.
Right, and that's the stuff that's particularly dangerous.
So how is that different from the fat you can pinch?
Good question. That's subcutaneous fat. And it's not as metabolically active as visceral fat. Meaning it doesn't release as many of those inflammatory substresses that mess with your health.
Got it. So two types of belly fat. One's way worse than the other. But the good news is these sources offer some solutions.
Absolutely. There's plenty you can do.
The Johns Hopkins article really grabbed my attention with the whole low-carb thing. You familiar with that?
Oh, yeah. Low-carb diets have been studied pretty extensively.
Well, their study found that people on a low-carb diet lost more weight, like 10 pounds more, than those on a low-fat diet over 6 months.
Interesting. And not just more weight, but a higher quality of weight loss, too.
Higher quality. What does that even mean?
It means they lost more fat and held onto more muscle, which is key because muscle burns more calories even when you're just chilling on the couch.
So it's not just about the number on the scale then?
Nope. It's about what's happening beneath the surface. Body composition matters.
I like that.
Yeah.
And what I liked about the low-carb approach is it doesn't sound like a constant calorie-counting nightmare.
Right. It's more about making smarter food choices, swapping out refined carbs and sugary drinks for veggies, healthy proteins, things like that.
And less processed foods, right?
Exactly. You're basically flipping a switch on your metabolism by reducing carbs. Your body starts burning stored fat for fuel.
Makes sense. So that's the diet side of things. What about exercise? I know the Army Gymnastics Podcast was all about moving that body.
Absolutely. They emphasize exercise, and for good reason, particularly cardio.
Right. It makes sense. That gets your heart rate up.
It helps burn abdominal fat by lowering insulin levels and making your liver use up those fatty acids near visceral fat deposits.
Okay, so even something as simple as taking the stairs instead of the elevator can help.
Exactly. Every little bit counts.
And if you want to kick it up a notch, the podcast recommends things like sprinting or cycling a few times a week.
Right. High-intensity interval training, or HIIT, is great for burning fat.
And, of course, we can't forget about strength training.
Strength training is key for building lean muscle mass, which, like we talked about, keeps your metabolism humming even when you're not working out.
So cardio blasts those calories during the workout, and strength training keeps the burn going afterward.
Awesome. It's a powerful combo for reducing overall body fat, including that stubborn belly fat.
I love it. So we've got diet, exercise. What else is there?
Well, there's more to it than just those two things. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll uncover some more surprising insights and tips.
You don't want to miss it.
So we've talked diet, we've talked exercise, but it's not all about those intense workouts, you know?
Oh, yeah. What about those of us who, maybe aren't gym rats?
Exactly. You don't have to be. The Conquering Abdominal Fat source actually had a really good point about that.
Let's hear it.
It's about finding activities you enjoy. If you hate running, don't force yourself to do it.
Makes sense.
Find something that gets you moving, that you can stick with long term, something you actually like.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it or you're not going to keep it up.
Yeah.
But speaking of things we might not want to hear, both the Army Gymnastics Podcast and that Conquering Abdominal Fat piece really stress the importance of sleep.
They did, and it's super important. Sleep deprivation can actually lead to more belly fat.
Seriously, I thought sleep was just about, feeling rested.
It's way more than that. When you don't sleep enough, your body produces more cortisol. That's the stress hormone.
Okay.
And cortisol can increase belly fat storage.
So even if you're working out and eating right, if you're not sleeping enough.
You could be sabotaging your efforts. It's like taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
So how much sleep are we talking?
7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. That's the goal.
I'll try.
And speaking of things that might require some willpower, the Army Gymnastics podcast also brought up alcohol.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one. I do enjoy my glass of wine.
I hear ya. But excessive drinking can definitely contribute to belly fat. Those empty calories add up quickly.
Yeah, moderation, I guess.
Exactly. It's all about balance. And on that note, the Johns Hopkins article had a really interesting point about processed foods.
Oh, yeah. What was that again?
Certain ingredients like trans fats, added sugars, and excess sodium can make it harder to lose weight, especially around the belly.
So basically they're like working against you from the inside out.
Exactly. And those ingredients are often lurking in packaged foods and snacks. So if you're serious about reducing belly fat, becoming a label reader is a must.
Okay, noted. No more grabbing the first thing I see at the store.
Right. Take a minute to compare brands, look at the ingredient lists, and make informed choices.
Knowledge is power. I like it.
It is. And it goes back to what we talked about with the low-carb diets. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods, and you're naturally cutting out a lot of those problematic ingredients.
2 birds, 1 stone. You're getting the metabolic benefits of low carb and avoiding those hidden saboteurs in processed foods. But it's not all about deprivation, right?
Of course not. You can still enjoy your life.
I liked how the Johns Hopkins article suggested focusing on how your clothes fit rather than obsessing over the number on the scale.
That's a great point. The scale can be misleading.
It can be a mental game for sure.
As you build muscle and lose fat, your weight might not change drastically, but you'll definitely notice a difference in how your clothes feel. That's a more tangible way to track progress.
And way less stressful than constantly stepping on the scale. I'm on board with that. But it's not just about individual effort, right? What about the people around us so they have an impact?
Absolutely. The Johns Hopkins article highlighted the social aspect of health.
Let's talk about that. How does that play into it?
People are more likely to make healthier choices when they're surrounded by friends and family who are doing the same. It's like having a built-in support system.
Makes sense. Like if your friends are all going for a hike, you're more likely to join them than if they're all vegging out on the couch.
Exactly.
No.
Turning healthy habits into social activities makes it more fun, and you're more likely to stick with it. Accountability is huge, too.
So find your tribe, your healthy tribe.
Exactly. But even with a great support system, you still need mental toughness. The Army Gymnastics podcast was really big on that.
Right. It's not just about physical change. It's about mindset, too. What do they say exactly?
They emphasized being consistent with your efforts, pushing through those moments of doubt and staying committed to your goals, even when you don't feel like it.
Easier said than done some days. But I get it. You got to keep your eye on the prize.
And they also made a great point about celebrating small victories along the way.
Small victories? Like what?
Like fitting into those jeans you haven't worn in a while, having more energy throughout the day. Those little wins keep you motivated.
Yeah, it's all about those little wins. They add up. So to sum it all up, what are the key takeaways here? Is there a magic bullet for belly fat?
I wish. But honestly, all these sources highlight that it's not about quick fixes. It's about a holistic approach.
Holistic meaning?
Meaning it involves multiple aspects of your life. Diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, social support, even mindset.
So basically taking care of yourself in a well-rounded way.
Exactly. And making sustainable changes that you can stick with for the long haul. No crash diets or extreme workouts. Just gradual, consistent changes that become part of your daily routine.
Got it. So small steps lead to big results. Love that.
They do. And speaking of resources to help you on your journey...
Right. We can't forget about those. What are some good ones?
ArmyGymnastics.com is a fantastic one. Absolutely. That's a fantastic one. They've got tons of information on exercise, nutrition, and overall wellness.
Oh, yeah. I've heard good things about that site. What else do they have?
They also have workout plans and even personalized fitness solutions.
So it's like having a personal trainer right in your pocket.
Exactly. It's a great way to stay motivated and reach your fitness goals.
Sounds like a one-stop shop for all things health and fitness.
Pretty much. They've got you covered.
Awesome. So to wrap things up, I think we've learned a lot about belly fat today.
We have. It's not just about looks. It's about taking control of your health and well-being.
And remember, there's no quick fix. It's about making sustainable changes.
Small steps lead to big results.
Exactly. So start with one small change this week and go from there.
You've got this.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into belly fat. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening. For all things health and fitness, subscribe to our newsletter today. Find out more at armygymnastics.com.